Welcome back. It's another early start. We're hitting the road, leaving the Te Anau Top 10 Holiday Park, and we're on the road heading off to Milford Sound. This is going to be a little slight detour going in completely the wrong direction for our ultimate destination today, which is Invercargill, but since we're so close to Milford Sound it seemed to be a crime to not pop up there and take a look, so away we go. Come and have a look. This should be an interesting ride. Now, if you've been following my channel, you'll know that last year, late April, we took a ride up to, well, we had another small South Island tour, which included a trip up to Milford Sound. At that time we found snow. As we got up near a place called Monkey Creek, we went across the snow line, so don't think we're going to hit snow this day, but there's certainly going to be some views to keep a hold of, so looking forward to this ride. It should be fun. So the road plan today for our little group, we're heading up to Milford Sound. We're not going to go on a boat tour this time. We're going to just ride up to the Sound, take a bit of a snack break up there, and then come on back. And we're going to get our breakfast back there at Te Anau before hitting the road and heading down to Invercargill. So it's riding for pleasure, really, just having a look around and making the most of our time while we're down here, because you got to do it right. When you're there, don't save it for next time. Do it whenever you can. That includes everything about riding. Now, I haven't bought the diner up here before. This is the last time I came down I had a rental bike. Picked it up from Bularangi Motorcycles in Christchurch. And that was a road glide special, and that was good fun to ride. It had all the bells and whistles, which were kind of handy when it came up to riding through some pretty sneaky conditions with the snow and ice and grit all over the place. But we don't quite have that now, so I'm more than happy to be riding my own bike, the old Dyna Fat Bob 2014. Faithful old soldier, banging along and waking up the neighbourhood as we go. Now, one thing we did a little bit differently this time, as we were heading up alongside the river, you can see it's getting a little bit more misty as the closer we get to the Homer Tunnel and climbing up to the altitude that it's at, which is about 950 metres above sea level. But one thing that Rex did for us this time differently was pulled over and did the tourist stop. At a sweet little scenic waterfall called Christie's Falls, I think it's called, which is just coming up here. It's on the left by this little bridge, the Falls Creek Bridge. So up there on the right there's a bit of a parking area, and yeah, if you're coming up this way and you've got the time, definitely pull in here and stop and have a look. It's pretty sweet stuff. Now, one thing, I had forgotten to turn off my camera, the GoPro on my chin mounted camera. And it was rolling as we walked back here, and looking back through it, thought, well, you know what, we can use this. I was oblivious to it rolling, so I was snapping away, taking photos left, right and centre, but this is the crew walking back and enjoying a bit of nature, so I don't often have non-riding material on here, so soak it up while you can.
I didn't even know this was here.
Motorcycle gang you got here.
Yeah. Beautiful place, eh?
You can see how clear water is.
And that was our little group being tourists. Anyway, we're just passing now. We're on the road again. This is only about 5-10 minutes down the road that we stopped at the falls. We passed the place I mentioned before, Monkey Creek, and this was well above the snow line last April when we came through. Late April, I have to say. and this was pretty much white and snow all over the place. We were having second thoughts, but still pushed ahead regardless. So no snow this time, but there is a lot of mist, kind of ground fog mist. It does tend to get on the lens a little bit as we get closer to the Homer Tunnel, but it does also clear up as we get up the top. So if you can just bear with it for a few minutes, and we'll be very soon having clear vision on the way through and down from the takeoff point. And now at this blurry point that we're at now, it will start to clear soon, promise you. We're heading up, we're getting very close to the entranceway to the Homer Tunnel, which is a single lane tunnel. It's about, I think, 1.5 kilometres long. And traffic light controlled, of course, so that only one direction is going at any one time. And you do get some pretty good illuminated signage boards here telling you what's going on, like how long you've got to wait. Now, on that board it was showing that we've got, I think when we first set there was like 8 minutes to go. Everybody else turned off their bikes, much to Rick's dismay. I didn't turn off my bike, maybe I should have, but all I was thinking was, what if it doesn't start again? So I thought I'll just leave it rumbling away. So yeah, got a bit of side eye down at the other side of the tunnel when we got through. Anyway, we got the green light eventually and head off down through the tunnel. They were doing some roadworks last time we came through here. It's all cleared up now. It looks real nice. They've got a rock shelter, a new one built at the top. We come on through. The tunnel takes a bit of an interesting turn. It's not terribly well lit inside the tunnel. It's always wet, and it goes down pretty sharply. So it's quite an experience. It's cool on the bikes. Love it. And when you come out the bottom, it's like coming into a new world, because different landscape again, and no less spectacular for that. Now as we're coming down from the summit, on the other side of the Homer Tunnel, we're doing a bit of a descent, quite a sharp one. I mentioned the altitude before. I think it's I read that it's about 950 metres above sea level, and we're heading down to sea level now. So there's a lot of twisty corners, what would you call them, hairpins, chicanes, I don't know, just a lot of twisting roads and some amazing views. We stopped at one of the viewing points along the way and looked up some of these sheer rock walls with multiple waterfalls just kind of flowing down them. It's really like another world. Well worth to visit. If you haven't been to Milford Sound, do yourself a favour if it's at all possible. Get down and have a look. Any season is good, just make sure the road's open when you set off on your journey. Now interestingly, when we came down the other side, it was pretty clear at the top as we came through the tunnel. As you can see in the camera, it's recording real clear. As we got down closer towards the bush part of the road, kind of getting closer down to sea level, we start to once again run into the mist, and once again the camera starts to fog up a little bit because there's quite some temperature changes and a bit of moisture in the air, but it still makes for a really pretty ride. It's quite spectacular, quite a moody ride down the mountain. I'm real happy to have this footage that I've got. Now, we were on the road really early this day. We left Te Anau at around about 7:45 in the morning, and there were a few reasons for this. One was we've got a lot of riding to do today. Also, it's good to get up to Milford Sound early because there's a lot of bus tours come through and it can get a little bit congested on the road at times. Coming through at the hour that we did means that we largely had the road to ourselves. There was a camper van guy in front of us here, but he was one of few on the road and he was making a good pace as well, because it's not really a place that you're going to be flying along and trying to crack speed records. You just want to come up here and soak in and enjoy. a pretty special place in the country. Now, as far as riding today goes, I mentioned that we're going back to Te Anau for breakfast, which we did, and then rode through to Invercargill. I was thinking I'd be able to put that section of the ride up, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I had a look at the footage. We had some pretty misty, drizzly weather for a great chunk of that ride, also some decent rain at various points, and there hasn't really been enough good footage to really warrant making a film out of it. So the next video that's going to be coming up next week is going to be the ride that we took from Invercargill and heading up to Roxburgh, Chatto Creek, Ranfurly, where we had a little bit of a situation, and then onwards, some of us to Dunedin and some of us elsewhere. So yeah, there'll be a story to tell about that, and you'll see it next week when it makes it up online onto YouTube. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this little ride down to Milford Sound. We're pretty much at sea level now, and we're heading up to the point where we pull off the road to a parking area where we turn off the bikes and stretch the legs, have a little bite with the sandwich that we brought with us, and some sweets or whatever else we might have had in our various bags. A little chug of water, stretch the legs, take some photos. So that's it for us. We spent about, I guess, maybe half an hour, 25 minutes, half an hour here before turning back round and heading back up the hill through the Homer Tunnel and back along to Te Anau for an amazing breakfast before hitting the road on the way to Invercargill, which was a fantastic ride. Enjoyed it very much. Didn't translate to film terribly well on account of weather conditions, but you get that from time to time. So that one is just going to have to remain locked in the memory banks of those that rode the ride. And for the coming up next week, we're going to be having the ride from Invercargill back up and eventually finishing in Dunedin. So hope you come back. In the meantime, take care out there, ride safe, have fun, and see you on the next one.